guys? Webster here. I was going to make a quick tutorial video, or try to be quick at least, going over the footage and screenshot recording with the Rockstar Editor. A lot of people don't know how, don't care to learn. That's fine. I've taught myself, just messing with it, tinkering with it. My advice is you got to do it by yourself though in the session. Don't do it during patrol. Don't do it when there's 5 people on, because it'll really mess up the server, duplicating things, desync, all this crazy stuff. So just make sure you're by yourself way before patrol or way after. That way you can get awesome screenshots. But I'm gonna get into it. A 5M here, get it pulled up, and then after you record the footage in F3 or whatever it may be, you'll come back and you will hit escape and go to Rockstar Editor, and this is the screen you'll come up to. You're gonna hit create new project, hit enter, hit add clip. This is one I just recorded. Your previous one will be right on top. Hit enter to edit it, hit yes. Now with this screen right here, if anything goes wrong, if it's high poly cars that can't load, if it's interiors that are high poly or whatever it may be, MLOs that it doesn't like, it'll cause them to crash. If people, even other players, are in the vicinity that you're trying to screenshot and edit, like if someone was standing right here in game, it would cause me to crash. If I was standing there in game, it'd cause me to crash. There's a whole bunch of little tweaks that you got to figure out that will cause you to crash. So prepare to get frustrated. I've been on full edits where I've had 20, 30 plus markers on there on different videos, and none of it saves until after you finish it, and boom, it crashed. Lost all my work. It is what it is, give or take. Don't get frustrated, just keep trying. But we'll get right into it. For camera, you'll go to free camera, edit camera. This is where you can look around. WASD, you can move it with your mouse and change view. Normally with if you don't have this file called open camera that I have, I can send you it if you'd like, but normally your range on it would be like right here, and it'd say too far away from model, go back, or whatever it says. But with the open camera, you can literally, I could go way over there to the windmills if I wanted, or I could go to the plant, wherever. I don't have to be limited to that, to my character. This makes for some awesome screenshots. Like if there was a game warden down there looking for me, I could get a screenshot of him or whatever it may be. But with your screenshots, my advice is always zooming in. Z and C are your zoom in and out. Zooming in for your screenshots, going a little further back and zooming in, see like the grass loaded there, it makes it just look better. Personally, you don't want to zoom way out. I think this looks like trash. It's your preference though. If you have it, do it how you want. So yeah, I zoom in, whatever the screenshot may be. I can change it with my arrow keys on the rotate. I don't know. I personally would keep it vertical just to get the downhill effect. I haven't figured out the binding to change in the box here that you see on screen for the angle. You would then, on the controller, just right click once in and it's gone. You also want to make sure that your cursor is off the screen. I personally use Xbox Game Bar, or Microsoft Game Bar, I guess you could say, to record these, and that binding is Windows G. Everyone should have Microsoft Game Bar already on your PC. If you have Windows, just go to the default Game Bar and get it set up. Get your file path set up that you want your captures going to. That's a big deal. Windows G comes up. I'll hit this capture button. Boom. Screenshot saved. Just like that, I got a screenshot that is unique. It's away from a lot of the screenshots people see, are going to be your game camera. And come on, let's be honest. But that's kind of how you do screenshots, just hinting on that a little bit. Be creative with it. Do something crazy, like you can even, go to camera. Let's say we're at a building and we're up here and we're up high and you want to kind of zoom out a little bit. You can go to the effects of the camera, which should be the back one more. Yeah, you got your effects right here. These give you a whole bunch of different things that you can edit in-game on the camera. Be careful with the saturation. You oversaturate it, just looks, personally, I think it looks dumb. It looks ugly. Your brightness, you can mess with that, all that stuff. But the filters on here are kind of cool. you know, play around with them. But they have one that's kind of like a, I don't know, I guess that right there would be like a security camera. And then in Photoshop, you can, you know, throw a recording sign on there, whatever it may be, that makes it look even better. The opportunities are endless with this. A lot of them are pointless and ugly, but, you know, your preference, you know, like that. I don't know, maybe hot. It's a hot scene or something. You're trying to make the person feel warm that is looking at the screenshot. I don't know. I don't use them personally. I think Grand Theft Auto is a beautiful game, and it by itself doesn't need anything. Black. There we go. But you can play around with that, mess with that. You got your speed on here. This is for like a slow motion footage. If you know, like you're doing a drift or something, you want the camera to pan around with you, but go slow. That's where you control the speed on it. It looks really cool in certain vehicle effects and videos. The position is just where you're at on the timeline. Thumbnail is for the video when you extract it. It's the thumbnail on there. I personally upload them to YouTube or whatever I may do, so I don't care about that. Depth of field is the focus, I guess you could say, on where, you know, if you're in the background of a scene, but you still want LEO vehicles in the front of the scene. You can put your depth of field further, so way you're more clear than the LEO vehicles or the LEO standing by the vehicles. Kind of self-explanatory, but just diving into it and trial and error is really where you're going to learn and critique how you want everything to be. But as far as footage goes, we'll go back into here, and our camera will stay free camera. You got your look at target, move at target, blend mode, and shake. Blend mode is probably the most useful one, I think, personally. The rest, like shake, move with target, and look at target, all add different effects for the immersion, or I guess the cinematic effect, I guess you could say. Just little, you know, perfections that you want on your video. They got different shakes here, and you change the intensity of them. You know, if we really want it going drunk, kind of gives you that blur. So if you you walk out of a bar and you want to zoom in on your guy, and you do this drunk and he, you know, sways, it looks kind of cool. Ground vibration is I do this one quite a bit, but I do it real low. Just, you know, for a vehicle passing over the camera or something like that. Air turbulence is obviously your helicopters or whatever you want to use it on, really. That's what it looks like. You can change up the intensity. Get to really shaking. Explosion. That's if you blow something up and it doesn't have that effect that you would like. But anyways, we're going to get into the cinematic part of a video that I always do, or I always love doing. Set that up. You'll have markers. So as this progresses, look at the bottom of the screen on the timeline. I'll hit spacebar to play, and I'm adding different markers. There's another marker. That itself has its own bindings on the camera angle, the blend mode, and everything like that. If you don't set them on the first tab or the first marker, they won't carry over to the rest of the markers. You have to set them every time. But I'm going to go ahead and set mine to camera. Oh, we want free camera. We want blend. I always do smooth blend. I don't do linear. Linear, I think, is like an A to B type thing. Smooth is, you'll see what it is. But blending easing is on. You always want that on. But this will keep the same settings for the next marker. So I'll go here, play it, and it'll start to move. Boom. We'll change it there. Now you have to change the actual camera view to where you want the next angle to move. You know, I'll make it lower, and we'll go in front of the vehicle a little bit. That way it's a quicker pan across. That way the vehicle doesn't outrun you. You have to do this a lot of times. I've had videos where the car's going super fast, and I'll look like way over here, you know, way away from the video or the vehicle, but it's so fast that the camera has to catch up to the vehicle, to where if you give it a more advanced angle, it will keep up with it. But yeah, we'll just go right back here and something. Save that. Let's see what this looks like. See how it's moving, it's blending, it's smooth, still has the vehicle in the frame. It'll carry that over to whatever markers you have next. If we put another marker here and we wanted to zoom in on the driver, it's kind of a timed up thing. So he's right there. The angle kind of stopped right about here. We have to time it up again. The vehicle's going to be rolling. You got to remember that. And I don't know, we'll say right there. Probably not going to be perfect, but trial and error, just editing. It's the next one, transitions, boom, sees the driver. So that was starting to get there. It was better than what I thought, but just making sure your angles are fine, and going over that. If you guys have any questions on this, feel free to ask, man. I don't know, I did it solo and it sucked. Just learning a lot of stuff getting deleted or looking ugly or whatever it may be. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. DM me. Hey man, how do I do this? Or how do you do this with the camera or whatever? And I'll be happy to help you out. Also, wanted to throw in there the file path that the exported videos go into from Rockstar Editor. So it's this PC local users Caleb, or user, I guess you say, your profile, app data. App data is going to be hidden. Most of you guys should have it on because obviously we all play 5M, so we need it. You'll have to turn on hidden folders if it's not. Local, Rockstar Games, GTA 5, videos, and rendered, and this is where they'll be. So from here, you can use them into your editing software, whatever you use. But it took me a while to find that. I actually had to Google it, so hopefully it helps you guys out. That is all I'm going to touch on in this tutorial, trying to keep it brief. I know I went in depth on a couple of things, but remember, key points. Don't get in Rockstar Editor during patrol or when there's a lot of people on. It'll really mess up the server. Do not do it when there's other people. Let's say it's you and one of your buddies on the server and you're trying to get screenshots. If you do it in the vicinity that you recorded that screenshot, like right here on the hill, you guys will crash. You and I believe the other person will crash as well. I'm not sure why it does it, don't ask me, but part of it. Same with high poly vehicles, like the fire engines. I have a really hard time getting scenes with them or screenshots with them with other vehicles in there. So I don't know why it is. It'll cause me to crash. Once that Rockstar Editor starts loading, boom, wipes out the whole thing. So make sure you follow those rules, and really everything else is just creativity, getting in there and getting after it. Like I said, if you need any advice or any questions answered, I'll try my best to help you. And hopefully this makes for some awesome screenshots for the next coming screenshot competition. Should be soon. Congrats to the winner of the loading screen competition, man. You're doing really good screenshots. Those look sick. But yeah, hopefully someone will take the title of Lord of Screenshots from me from the last competition. It's coming up soon, so you guys stay tuned. But anyways, appreciate it watching this video. Give it a like if you liked it. If you didn't like, give it a thumbs down and tell me in the comments below that you hated it. So anyways, take care, guys.